So I recently traveled out to the East Sepik region. You can tell it's a very dense jungle area. And I went to help support the Aitape West translation project. And here it is from the air. You can see there's a lot of buildings there, and we'll get a little bit close up later on as to what each of these buildings are for. Some of them are where work is done, and some of them are where the translators and the support team live. You'll notice a lot of solar panels. That's how we power the project. A lot of batteries and such like this. This is the main translation porch area, the veranda, the deck, whatever term you like to call it. And you can see these are the men at work. Now, at the time of the shooting of this video, there were 10 different languages, and I believe they were translating 1 John. So these men sit around this table, and they all work in their various languages. And these translation coaches here, you can see there's John on the right, and there's Ben right there. And these men help coach them as they work through the scripture to translate the language into their to translate the Bible into their languages. So these guys all sit there and they spend the time in this workshop translating scripture. It's fascinating to watch. And then up in this area, you can see that there's a satellite dish over there for their internet connection and water tanks. Up in this area, you have another class going on, and I believe this class is literacy and Bible study. So they're preparing materials and also learning reading and writing of their language, and they're being helped right there by Beth. And so if these guys are not directly involved in the translation, they still come out here and they still get a lot of value from the workshop. These are some of the dorm areas where people can stay, because when they come out for a workshop, often they've traveled 2 to 3 days walking, and they need a place to stay while the workshop is going on. And so for a week at a time, sometimes 3 weeks, they're in these dorms, these Papua New Guinean men coming out here to do this work. Now, what we're looking at here is some of the houses. This is one of the newer houses that have been built that we're coming down and looking at. This is one of the older houses that have been there, that a family of 5 live in when they're in the village. And you can see some of the ways they've made it kind of work into the landscape. You see the water tanks there. This is one of the newer houses. You can see she's got her septic tank there in the ground, and she powers her house with solar, and some support members from her home church gave the money for that house. This is the house of the Papua New Guinean family that lives there, that maintains the grounds when the translators are back at headquarters. This is what we call a house cook, otherwise known as the kitchen. This is where all the food for all those men gets prepared every day. This is a little bit of an aerial shot of the entire village project. You can see off in the distance there that they've integrated into the village as well. So you can see the differences in the housing structure between what the project has built and the people that they live alongside and serve.